What is up, everybody? Hey, I want to do a quick video for you guys to tell you 3 things that will help you catch more bass as we get into the summer and the dog days of summer when it's really hot, especially if you're a shallow water fisherman like I am. 3 things. First thing is you can continue to fish shallow water, but you want shallow water that is close to deep water. You want areas where the fish can quickly go from, say, 2, 3, 4, 5 foot of water to 10, 15, 20 foot of water, just like that, without having to swim very far. You can still fish shallow water, but you got to stay close to the deep water. You need to look for channel banks. You need to look for main lake drop-offs, or you need to fish flats, maybe that are adjacent to points where they can quickly come up and feed and then quickly get back into deep water where they feel secure. Number 2, you need to look for current, whether it's wind-driven current, whether it's water released or being moved at, with a dam on one end of a lake or whatever it may be. Or it could even be tidal. It could be a river, a tidal water situation, but current is something else you can look for in the summertime. That's kind of a big deal and will help you in the dog days of summer and the heat of summer when you're fishing. One other thing is pinch points. If you like fishing around a spillway or fishing around even bridges, sometimes just bridges, the wind can blow water and pinches together and it creates a little current. You'd be surprised, it doesn't take a lot for it to be something that'll hold fish and keep fish there. And the third thing is shade lines. Make the most of your mornings. Make the most of that shade, whether it be from bushes or it be from boat docks or whatever it may be. The bass will definitely hold and be more active around shade and shade line and shady cover. So those 3 things, deep water access close to shallow water, any kind of current, whether it be wind driven or moving water from a dam or shade lines, any cover around shade. Those 3 things will help you to catch more fish in the heat of summer. And that's about what we're about to head into right now, the dog days of summer. And if you're a shallow water fisherman like I am, you have to start looking at things like that. I'm not saying you can't go in the back of a creek and catch a fish in the morning on top water, but as we get further along in the summer and water temperatures get warmer and the water just starts to get hotter, we have got to start looking at the areas we want to fish as shallow water fishermen. Last thing I'm going to say is if you're fishing derbies and if you're fishing tournaments right now, please take care of your fish. I've seen lots of things on YouTube about tournaments across the country where there's been a lot of dead fish showing up in the lakes the day after a tournament. You have got to make sure, if you're not keeping them to eat, if you're keeping them to eat, that's different, because a lot of people do that, and that's your discretion, that's up to you. But if you're fishing derbies and your plan is to release them, get you some G-Juice. Get you some of the other formulas they have out there to add to your live well to keep the fish alive, and use ice. But be careful with your ice. You can't just, you've got to really watch how you kind of got to feed that into the live well a little at a time. And one trick that I saw a guy do years ago when I was fishing as a co-angler in a BFL, he used to take water bottles. He'd mix his G-Juice and water, and he'd pour it into a bottle and freeze it. And when he got ready to add it to his live well, he would just take the cap off of that frozen bottle and he'd just put the whole bottle in the live well so that G-Juice and the ice would melt and slowly disperse into his live well. And I thought that was a really cool idea. And I've done that a couple of times, but I don't do it all the time. But it's just a little trick I saw him do, and I thought that was pretty cool. So take care of your fish. And use these other 3 things I told you about so you can stay on the fish and hopefully catch some during the heat of summer. Just a short video. I want to thank everybody that subscribed to the channel. If you like this video, hit that like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed, I ask that you consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it, and it'll help it grow. So thanks a lot, and y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank you.